Viridian City. Night had fallen deep. In a corner of the city, under the dim light of a small rental apartment, a handsome young man with black hair stared intensely at a folder on his computer screen labeled Rainbow Eevee Puzzle Pop. This time it's gotta work, he muttered. Taking a deep breath, he dragged the folder with his mouse to a website's upload area and clicked confirm. But the next moment, a big red X appeared, along with an error message, and the folder on his desktop instantly vanished. Unknown error. 404, file corrupted. Damn it, not again. The young man cursed and slammed his fist on the table. His name was Kyrus, and he'd been transported to this world a week ago. The good news, this was a world he loved and knew well, the world of Pokemon. The bad news, he'd been reincarnated as a broke, identity-less orphan teen, renting a temporary room on the outskirts of Viridian City, barely scraping by on odd jobs each day. Coming to this world, Kyrus had no grand plans of becoming a trainer. He'd be perfectly content just befriending one or two Pokemon and living out his days with them as companions. But reality was even harsher than he'd imagined. Right now, he was dirt poor and couldn't even feed himself properly. If he tried to catch a Pokemon, they'd probably end up homeless together. Picture this, him and his Pokemon on the street with a begging bowl, Kyrus handling the crying, the Pokemon doing the pleading. To change this situation, Kyrus, who'd been a top game developer in his previous life, spent his first day after arriving researching this world's entertainment industry online. The results were beyond his expectations. While this world had smartphones and computers for everyone, with a highly developed internet, the entertainment sector was basically a blank slate. Whether movies, TV shows, novels, or games, everything was stuck in a primitive, low-level stage. Take this example. The #1 game on the League Gaming official hot list cost a whopping 2,030 yen and was called Angry Rocks. It was literally just a racing game where you played as a Geodude rolling down roads, and it was single-player only, not even having online multiplayer. If you were lucky enough to reach the later levels, your Geodude would evolve into Golem and become like a massive 18-wheeler on the highway, giving pedestrians a taste of what living life to the fullest really meant. This situation filled Kyrus with excitement. With his abilities, in a world so starved for gaming culture, he could live comfortably just by casually porting over a few classics from his previous life. But then the problem started. When Kyrus spent 2 days creating a simple Pac-Man Starter Trio game and tried to upload it, the upload failed and the folder disappeared. At first, he thought his computer was malfunctioning, so he remade the game, took a USB to the internet cafe downstairs to try again, only to encounter the exact same issue. Refusing to give up, he created a new Lucario Gold Miner minigame, but met the same fate again. Including what just happened, this was now the 5th game he'd made that failed to upload and vanished. This was giving Kyrus a serious headache. What was he supposed to do? Next week was rent day. But he'd been so focused on making games lately that all the money he had wouldn't even buy a bottle of Moo Moo milk from the convenience store downstairs. Just as he was lost in thought, wrestling with his dilemma, a golden panel suddenly materialized before his eyes. Along with it came an electronic voice. 7-day buffer period complete. Blocking function operating normally. Ding, congratulations, host. The Ultimate Pokemon Game Development System has been activated. This system can provide you with efficient game development technology to help the host become the ultimate Pokemon game developer. Beginner bonus tech modules activated. Please check your panel. After reading through the information, Kyrus's gaze fixed on the first line of text. So my game's failing this whole week was because of this system. The electronic voice spoke again, with a hint of pride. Ding, please note, host, since you are a transmigrator, to prevent space-time disruption that could result in your erasure, you are temporarily limited to creating games with Pokemon as core content. Non-Pokemon games have been automatically blocked by the system. No need to thank this system. Quote. Gee, thanks a million, Kyrus muttered sarcastically. He mentally ran through every curse word he'd learned in this lifetime before taking a deep breath and assessing his current situation. Simply put, this system could help him rapidly develop games, but only games with Pokemon as the core content. He looked at the panel, where 2 squares glowed with blue light. Pixel Game Module Low Tier can rapidly create pixel-based content. Basic Programming Module Low Tier can rapidly create small-scale, simple program content. Unlocking other modules or upgrading existing ones requires emotion points, obtained when others experience anger, shock, emotion, admiration, etc. toward your games or yourself. Current balance, 0. Rapid content creation. Kyrus thought for a moment, opened his computer's game development software, and visualized a pixel image in his mind. The next moment, a Pikachu made of yellow pixels instantly appeared on screen. Now that's pretty sweet. Kyrus's eyes lit up. Even as a top-tier game developer, creating a game solo required tremendous time and energy. That's why he'd been choosing small-scale games to work on this week. Because making those big games single-handedly was simply impossible. Plus, his specialty was game design, not programming. There was a difference between the two. Usually, Kyrus just provided direction, concepts, and ideas while others at the company handled the programming. But with this system, that problem was solved. Not only that, as long as the games he created sparked emotional reactions in others, he could unlock more new modules and create even more advanced Pokemon games. With this realization, Kyrus's mind raced. Pokemon core games only, basic programming, pixel limitations. One game immediately came to mind. Pokemon, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald series. This was pure heavyweight material,